Hello to all of you wonderful moms out there. This is episode 84 of Achieve Your Ambitious Mom Life. This is the show where you can learn how to balance your ambitions with motherhood. I'm your host, Anoki Kapasi. This is going to be a really revealing episode that's triggered by a question that came up during a recent coaching session. And it revolves around whether to pursue a fulfilling career by following your passions or by playing it safe and focusing on your proven skill set. Well, in today's episode, I'm going to be exploring this critical question of whether you should follow your passions or leverage your skills in career planning. And also, I'm going to provide the astonishingly simple method on how to choose between your passion and your skills. You're going to hear clips from a coaching call that directly addresses the question of whether you should build your career around your passions or your skills. So whether you've been thinking about changing your career or returning to work after taking a break, or maybe you're fine-tuning your current career path, well, this episode is going to contain all the insights that you need to make that aligned decision for your career. So let's get started. Are you looking for a way to blend success and motherhood without losing sight of who you are? I get it. I've been there too. Hi, I'm Anoki, a PhD researcher, business owner, and homeschooling mom of 2 boys. As your life coach, I help moms like you create a life you love at home and at work. If you're ready to stop feeling overwhelmed, overscheduled, and overlooked, and want a clear roadmap to a balanced life, a meaningful career, and finally feeling like yourself again while being the awesome mama that you are, you're in the right place. In this journey to create the life you truly desire, it's time to rediscover your dreams and achieve your ambitious mom life. I'm so excited you're tuning into today's episode. If this is your first time here, well, welcome. Hit the follow button so you don't miss future episodes. And if you like what you're hearing, then visit my website at solveformom.com and access free resources, get in touch with me directly, or learn more about how I can help you. Chances are that if you found my podcast, then you're a mom who wants to make a difference in some broad way. That is the core of your ambitions. You are a proud mom, but you also have ambitions outside of motherhood. You still have hopes and dreams and professional goals that you want to pursue. And without those, you feel lost and disconnected from yourself. And so when you feel called to both motherhood and career, you need a way to balance your career and family life. So the question you're faced with is, should I follow my passion or use my skills in my career? Which one will land you the right career with the perfect balance that you need to continue to prioritize your family and also pursue meaningful work? Well, that's exactly the question that my client posed to me. So I'm going to refer to my client as Becky, which is a pseudonym because I want to respect her privacy. But with her permission, I am using these audio clips. Now, in previous sessions, Becky had worked with me to develop her life plan. During the self-discovery assessment in the first coaching session, we identified multiple passions of hers, all of her strengths and skills, and a lot of other things, including her values, vision, and purpose. And then the results from the self-discovery assessment were then used to create her comprehensive and customized roadmap. It's her life plan that she could then filter major life decisions from really big goals all the way down to daily decisions that she had to make. In this particular session, we were going through various career paths that she could take. We were using her life plan as a career alignment tool, basically. Now, it's often the case that we feel that career planning for moms like us, the high achiever type and academically minded women that we are, is pretty overwhelming and a bit complicated to answer. Before we make any career decisions, it's crucial to ask yourself the right questions to understand what truly matters to you in this stage of life. In this stage of motherhood, Becky was looking for job flexibility to allow her to continue to be a more present mom, as well as to give her the time, the space, and resources that she needs to pursue her many goals towards her long-term vision that she had gained so much clarity and articulated so well in her life plan. During the conversation, Becky confided that she didn't know whether to play it safe by prioritizing the more practical and sensible options that used her skills and that she had successfully already demonstrated in her prior jobs, or whether to move towards her passions, many of which we identified during a self-discovery assessment. Anyways, she felt like she would be compromising at least one of the following, no matter what she chose: her security, her finances, or flexibility. So with that said, I'm about to share a very short clip from a recent career planning coaching session.
I'm kind of just hoping to find something just where the mission is something that I can get behind, and I just feel
Mhm.
like the company is making a positive impact. I don't know, but I have like conflicting voices in my head as to like, oh, am I just compromising too much? If I'm going to like lower my salary requirements, take a job title that was like the same title I had, like 3 promotions ago at my last company and in an industry that maybe I'm not so passionate about. I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth between like, is this just a stepping stone where I don't need to care that much about it, or am I selling out? Should I be passionate about my work at all times? I guess is, maybe the question deep down that I'm struggling with.
Yeah. Before I share my response, I want to mention that when it comes to this passion versus skill career decision for moms, Becky is not alone in this particular fork in the road. I have certainly been there in this position before. I have made several career shifts in my life. When I would think back to when I was making early career decisions, I received various pieces of advice from parents and teachers and counselors or mentors. Some people recommended that I focus on identifying my natural strengths, abilities that I demonstrated since childhood. Others guided me towards a practical approach, choosing fields with better job prospects, higher salaries, or more prestige. The thing is that figuring out how to choose between passion and skill and what work you should pursue is totally different now that you are a mom. And you might feel disconnected from who you were pre-mom, at least professionally, and the things that you find yourself doing day to day now that you're a mom. And then, of course, these considerations take on a new dimension as you have also had to deal with less time, new demands, and having to rediscover yourself in multiple new roles. And since you have a lot less time, you also need some flexibility in the type of work that you do. And now you face the difficult decision about whether to leverage your existing skills where you could be guaranteed work. I mean, you've already spent years training and developing your skills. So should you stay the course and do the thing that you're already good at, but then feel like maybe you're not quite living up to your full potential or not creating the level of impact you want? However, you also know that you're ready for a change and not quite in love with what you do anymore. And you found other interests that you wish to explore more, but you have little or no experience in this passion-driven career. I mean, you'd have to start from scratch, and you're asking yourself, could you even earn an income from it? So you're battling some self-doubt, and you're questioning your abilities to make a career change, and at the end of the day, which one is going to allow you to find meaningful work that also fits your family life? So in previous episodes, I've talked a lot about how my idea of success changed in motherhood. I think that happens to everyone as they become a mom, and that's totally normal. That was exactly what Becky was discovering too. So like me, Becky's professional goals had changed, and that became obvious once she had taken the time to articulate and map it all out in her life plan. I personally felt that if I was going to be pulled away from my family, it had to be for a really strong reason. It had to be for something I believed in, something that would create impact in the world and help others. During motherhood, I think most of us want better career alignment with our life now that we're moms. We want flexibility without feeling like we're settling. We want to pursue what is practical but also fulfilling. We want to carve out a new type of work for who we are now, for what lights us up now. So then how do you find meaningful work that energizes you rather than depletes you? This question of being passionate with the work that we do is really relevant today as more companies are becoming mission-driven and they're allowing employees to connect with their work that aligns with their personal values. The reason that I have been able to navigate so many career pivots is because I realized early on that the answer to this passion versus skill career decision is astonishingly simple. You really don't have to choose. But here's the thing. There are actually 2 camps when it comes to answering the passion versus skills question. You'll see that some people say, follow your passion, just like they told me. Figure out what you're enjoying, doing most in life, and then find a way to do it full time. Because it's hard to stick with something if you're not interested in it, right? And this idea of passion is more fully described in the book Grit by Angela Duckworth. In her book, she cites some research that shows that when you're doing work that you're passionate about, people report an increase in both job satisfaction and job performance. There are other people who believe that your skills are more important, that loving something doesn't mean that you're going to automatically be good at it, that you can be bad at something and still love it, so you're still passionate about it. That doesn't mean it should be your job. That level of skill and competency is evidence of your discipline and sacrifice that you have made towards developing the skill. And therefore, you're uniquely qualified to work in that area. Not everyone can do what you do because not everyone has developed and nurtured that skill. So here's the thing. I actually agree with both of those camps of people. I think they're both really valid arguments to make. So if you're at a crossroads in your career and you're struggling with whether to pick work based on what you're passionate about or what you're skilled at, I actually have a really simple answer for you. And I'm going to address it in two ways. So my first approach to this question is that it actually doesn't matter. Either option is going to lead you to the same intersection. And I can say this with confidence because I've seen it so many times. And this is exactly what I told Becky. There's a couple things that we can have you think about. The passion versus the sort of skill and I'm good at kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They kind of go hand in hand. So a lot of people are like, oh, if you're looking for a job, tap into your passions, right? And I'm all about that. I do that with life planning. Tap into your passions, and then you can really excel and be good at it, right? Mm-hmm. But it works the other way around too. Because when you find something that you're like, okay, I've trained really hard in this, I've built this huge foundation of knowledge and skill and competency, and people trust me to do this kind of work. Mm-hmm. I have a reputation. And you do that and you keep improving and perfecting that craft or whatever field, that skill that you're in. Mm-hmm. You know, like think about an athlete who is training for like a gymnast or something. They just might have fallen into that because they took classes and they got good at it. And then they're just really, really good at it. They may not have loved it at first, but then you start to you're like, oh, I can do 1% better. Oh, when I do this little change, I can actually jump further or jump higher or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And those little mini challenges gets you to become passionate about it. Mm-hmm. So that passion can come afterwards as well. I mean, yes, you don't want to detest the field that you end up getting your job in. Yeah. I would not obsess over follow passion or follow skill first. I think if you're in the general vicinity of I generally like this, yeah, and you feel stimulated and challenged, yeah, then the passion will come or the skill will come. Mm-hmm. Depending on which one you ended up leaning on. Yeah. So yeah. I would not obsess about that part so much. So if we were to combine those two perspectives, interests that turn into passions are likely things you become skilled at. And skills that you show discipline and improvement in will likely become something that you're passionate about.
I find it really valuable what you just said about don't worry so much about leading with passion versus skills. Because I think I am finding that some roles, it's more about the mission of the company that excites me. Mm-hmm. And, in some roles, it's more like, wow, that just sounds like it would use all of my skills. I could mm-hmm. bring a lot of value to this company. And yeah, I think just recognizing that and being okay with that is fine. Whenever you finally seriously considering about certain offers, job offers, mm-hmm. When you're trying to narrow down, okay, should I do this or whatever? Yeah. It's not just about weighing salary and other things, right? Obviously, yeah. You've screened them in because they seem desirable to you, but mm-hmm. don't forget to just cross-check them with your life plan and just make sure it is okay if your job is just a conduit for that one sort of big step you want to make with the house. Mm-hmm. But it would be nice if your job also filled the bucket in terms of purpose and your personal mission, as well as the company's mission. The company's mission, your mission should overlap to some extent, just like your family mission and your personal mission should have some good amount of overlap, right? And the second reason I say that it doesn't matter whether you pursue skill or passion is that you can intentionally find and start at the intersection of passion, skill, and purpose, which is what the Japanese model Ikigai is all about. I actually believe Ikigai is complementary to life planning. So I actually talked about Ikigai for moms with Becky, and this is what I said. Have you ever heard of Ikigai? No. How do you spell it?
Ikigai. Okay. It's this Japanese Venn diagram that's actually, I guess, 4 circles. It's a great way to combine skill and purpose. It's not a life plan, but it takes elements of the life plan. So imagine 4 circles, okay? Like a Venn diagram. and you have your passion, all the things that you love, right? We kind of did this a little bit in self-discovery, but like just imagine a Venn diagram. And then you have a circle of like all the things you're good at, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like a circle of what the world needs and then like what you could get paid for.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the intersection is your
And
Ikigai.
yeah.
I love it.
And
Love it.
so
Yeah.
I think in there is kind of like passion and skill kind of combined.
Yeah.
And then purpose with like the what the world needs. So it's purpose, skill, passion, all
Yeah.
combined. And then also the practical part, which is what you could get paid for, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can use it as an exploratory tool to be like, hey, should I go down this path, that path, or the other? But you could also use it as a cross check, just like your life plan. You could use that to be like, okay, this job has all of these things. And it's not just about the role, but also this company offers these things,
Right.
you know, being part of this community, the culture of the company and all these things. Commute, not commute, everything. You take all of that and you start dumping it into those 4 circles. And you can use that to cross check to say, hey, is there any overlap? Because if there isn't, then it's clearly not going to work for me.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. It's so simple but like poignant that like I never heard that name.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. Thank you.
So basically, Ikigai is a Japanese concept that helps you find purpose and fulfillment by identifying this intersection of 4 key elements. One is what you love. So these are your passions, your interests, and things that bring you joy, right? We've been talking about this in this episode. Then there's what you're good at. These are your skills, but also your talents and natural strengths and other things that fall into the bucket of skill set. There's also 2 other components. So the third thing is what the world needs. These are problems that you see need solving, ways that you can contribute or make an impact. I liken this to your purpose. And then the fourth thing in Ikigai is what you can be paid for. These are skills or services that have market value and that people are willing to compensate you for. It's the more practical end of all of this. So when all 4 of these areas overlap, you've found your Ikigai, your reason for being. So there's actually a really neat Ikigai exercise that you can do. So here's how it works. So I want you to get out a piece of paper and make 4 circles, but like a Venn diagram so that there's some overlap between different circles as well as in the center. Each circle represents one of those elements: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Next, I want you to work through each circle by answering the guiding questions that I'm going to share with you in a bit. And then the goal is to identify where in these 4 areas is a point of intersection. And that's going to be your sweet spot for meaningful, sustainable work that also aligns with who you are and what you want in the stage of life of motherhood that you are at. So I want to share with you 5 questions to choose passion or skill as part of your career planning. Now, these are the questions that you can use in that Ikigai exercise. However, if you don't want to do that particular exercise, you can just use these as journal prompts and they can also still bring you clarity on their own. And these are questions that I tailored specifically for high-achieving moms. So you might want to write these questions down. You could even put them on the same piece of paper as your circles. The first question is, when were you most energized? What were you doing when you felt energized? So basically, I want you to identify moments when you felt really engaged professionally or even just doing other kind of work, whether it's at home or in the community or anywhere else. Okay, and the second question is, which of your skills do people often come to you for help with? Because these are going to be indicators of your natural strengths and areas that people find valuable. 3, what needs do you see in the world that stir your compassion or curiosity? This is how you're going to be able to connect your work to a larger purpose that creates some deeper meaning for you. And you're going to be able to identify that with this question. When you find yourself saying like, oh man, somebody should really fix this, or what is the solution for this? Well, then these are things that you find troubling or feel that there's a gap and that you might actually be driven to create the solution yourself. The fourth question is, what skills can you be paid for? So basically, what skills or expertise do you have that people or organizations have consistently valued and will be willing to pay you for? So when you think about work that generates income, which of your skills and abilities seem the most remarkable to you right now? Also, what services have you offered to people or that people have expressed that they would be gladly to pay more for. These are the practical considerations that you have to have when you're planning out your career. Okay, and then the fifth question is, what career path aligns with your current stage in life or your family's priorities? So to answer this question, I truly believe the best tool to have is your life plan. It is key to answering this question. And when you answer this, it's also going to give you really deep insight into your idea of work-life balance as a mom. Because what you're looking for is a career that's going to complement your family vision and your life vision. Okay, I'm going to wrap up now by summarizing basically everything that I talked about here. If you're feeling stuck between pursuing your passions or leveraging your current skill set, I basically am trying to remind you that this isn't an either-or decision. Both paths can lead you to fulfilling, meaningful work. So for ambitious moms who are standing at this career crossroads, let's say, that question isn't really whether you should choose between passion or skill, but actually it's about purpose and finding work-life balance. I also shared 5 critical questions to consider when you're navigating this career shift that addresses your passion, skills, purpose, the practical point of bringing yourself an income, and how to establish work-life balance. So these 5 questions are going to help you identify where your passions and skill intersect, and that can be your starting point, but it also is the intersection point of balance and purpose and practical things like what you can monetize feasibly. And all of this is inspired by the Japanese concept of Ikigai. By answering these questions, you're going to make more aligned career choices that also honor your personal mission, and you're going to be able to take the first important step to finding meaningful work that energizes you while it helps you maintain some flexibility for your family. Just remember that your life plan is going to give you answers to all of these career questions. So that is why I believe you need to first start at self-discovery and build out your life plan. And so if you want to know how to answer any of these questions, you're definitely going to want to have a life plan. And we can get you started on your life plan immediately if you book a call with me. And if you're still not sure, take advantage of my free exploratory call. And all of that information is in my show notes below. So whether you're contemplating a major career pivot, you're returning to work after a break, or you're just fine-tuning your current path, I want you to trust that with the life plan, you can create a career that's going to help you achieve your ambitious mom life. I hope today's episode will help you create time and freedom to pursue something you love to do. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and tell other purpose-driven mamas about it. Who knows? You might even make a new friend by sharing a tip. It's all free. By the way, it would be amazing to hear what you think about the show when you leave a review on Apple Podcasts. After all, my passion is to make this a great experience for you. I'll see you next week for another episode of Achieve Your Ambitious Mom Life with Anoki Kapasi.